Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's your girl, April Chantel, and we are back with Chatting with Chantel. It has been a great break. It has been a long break. It has been a much needed break. There's been a lot of growing. There's been a lot of learning. There has been a lot of stretching. There's been a lot of pouring. There's been a lot of just new perspectives put into place. Welcome back. How I have missed this place where we were able to chat and conversate and just discuss things that were going on in our day-to-day, things that were going on in our spiritual walk. Welcome back. It's your girl, once again, April Chantel. And yes, I have added my first name back. That'll come later on. I'll explain to you why, but we are back with another season, a new perspective, a new directive, a new way of doing things. I thank God that He has still held me accountable for this space, for this thing, for this opportunity, for this journey, for this ministry that He's given me. I thank Him that even in the silence, He was working as we were leading up into today. And when I finally got the okay to, hey, now it's time for you to go back and do the thing that you asked me to help you with. It's time for you to go back to that very good thing that was therapeutic. It was definitely educational. It was causing you to grow and step outside of the box. It's time for you to go back to that thing. And we are here on this Saturday, this beautiful Saturday. I don't know where you are and when you may be listening to this, but it is Saturday. And I am actually on a mini vacation, but when we planned this, I was like, what a perfect way to be able to jump right back into the swing of things than to do it in a space where I know I would be fully relaxed, fully rejuvenated. I thank God for life. Life has definitely been lifing. It has changed. It is definitely, I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still doing all the things that I need to do to make sure that I am staying right before God, that I am being who I am called to be, and that I'm being good to myself, that I'm here for my family, my friends, that I am creating safe spaces that don't cause me to be stressed out about a thing, but simply placing the simplicity of the relationships in a placing them in a place where, they kind of make sense. I have missed you guys so much, and I have missed this podcast. This podcast has definitely taught me a lot, and it has allowed me to have just this moment where even if nobody responds, even if nobody comments, even if nobody hears, I go back and I listen and just think on the things that we're talking about. And, I'm learning. You can learn from yourself. It is possible to learn from yourself. And those are the lessons definitely that I have been having lately. And I'm just excited. I'm just so excited to be back and doing this thing. And this season title is Dear God, It's Me. And when God gave me that, it was simply because God was like, I need you to show people the safe and the personal space they can have with me when they just open up and give me them, when they just, show me full transparency, when they are vulnerable, when they're ready to hear, when they're ready to have effective communication, when they understand that, when they're going to allow me to do what I do without any help, Dear God, it's me. So it's allowing you to, hey, express, and then not only express, but to hear what the reply is, or hear what the response is, or hear how, we're going to work this thing out for your good. So that's where this title came from for this season. Dear God, it's me. And me being so many different, not people, because there's only one me, but I wear several different hats. And so, dear God, in that moment, whatever moment I'm coming at, that's the moment that, I'm talking to God. And there's times where I come to him as just, hey, his daughter, because I'm working on me. Granted, I am in a new space, a new age, a new journey in my life as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, as a sister, as a daughter. And it's a lot to take in. Most recently, my baby daughter completed high school, which pretty much makes us empty nesters in a roundabout way. And that's a process for a mom. If you've never been a mom, or if you've not gotten to that place yet as a mother, where guess what? You've raised these amazing children. You've raised these independent children. And so having them not need you as much weighs on you a lot more than you actually think. And we all say, hey, I can't wait to the day that you walk across that stage. And then reality hits and you're just like, oh my God, now what do I do? Who am I when I've been mothering 24/7, 365, nonstop to these gifts that you've given me? And so, like, God, I need to figure out who I am. What do I do with these feelings, and how do I process them? So that's one of the new journeys of my life that I've been going on. Of course, I'm at a bigger age, and so Perry has definitely made his entrance into my life. That's a process that we can talk about. Me and my husband, as we have, raised our children, and we are now definitely prioritizing our marriage. The older that we, the more years that we tack on to our marriage, we're just trying to make sure that we keep things tight, we keep things right, that we're, going back to what we really, really committed to. And we said, even if it means that we have to go back and, hey, redefine some things, and the importance of us being there for one another, being there for ourselves, being there as a joint unit. So we're definitely, it's so many things going on. I just can't wait to be able to just show and share everything that God has given on this podcast in this season of Dear God, It's Me. And for those of you that are listening and following, please make sure that you like, share, comment, send to somebody that, hey, you might need to just chime in and listen. It's a moment where, guess what, you can just be like, hey, you know what? One sister empowering another sister, one chick empowering another chick, one chick just talking about the things that maybe some people don't feel comfortable talking about. But hey, this is that podcast, this is that place. And it's not only for women. Definitely my idea is to reach every area of life, whether you are young, you're old, whether you are, just teetering in different age brackets. My goal is to reach and be a blessing in every area, and to show you that God is good. He is so real. For those of you that are familiar with me, of course, we do our morning motivations throughout the day, throughout the week. And I've really been intentional with at least doing 4 to 5 days a week of pouring and just sharing the devotions that God has given me. So if you missed the podcast, if you're not able to sit and listen to the podcast, follow me on Facebook. You can follow me under April Bradley Skinner, or you can follow me under Chantel, either page. And my morning motivations are on there. I am on Instagram. I am on Facebook. I am on TikTok. So you definitely can follow and share. And it's definitely good. Some mornings, guess what? We need that push. We need that encouragement. And that's just what that is during the course of the week. It is 3 minutes, no more than 3 minutes. 3 minutes that we, guess what, get that which we need, and we go ahead and we start our day. We have something to grab a hold of, and we take off and run. And so if you're not able to listen or, just commit to the podcast, guess what? Make sure you're getting your daily motivations. I thank God for everybody that has contributed to this day on today. And I want to make this podcast is merely just like, dear God, this is my testimony, and this is, me thanking you for allowing me to have this space. This is just me saying, hey, guess what? I did not think that I was capable of doing this thing. I didn't see me in the place that I am now ever. But because of who you are and because of what you have for me, you heard my ask. You heard my dear God, it's me. You heard every journal entry that I wrote. You heard every prayer that I prayed. God, I wanted to be something different. I wanted to be something that people could relate and see your work at its best. I wanted people to understand that maturity in spiritual maturity can happen, that growth can happen, that guess what, change is okay, and that it does not have to be a bad thing, that guess what, walking with you, there are some hits and there are some losses that we take, but it is for the greater good, and that everything that people try to say contrary to the walk with Christ, that is, that saying that we can't live a life of abundance, I want to be able to show them how amazing it is, what a peace, what a joy, and what a unbelievable space that it can be when you fully submit to God and give him your all. And definitely for a healthy mental, it has definitely been my therapy for my life, as life has definitely been lifing for so many people. Guess what? We need to have that space where we can talk to God. Dear God, it's me. God, my mind is all over the place today, and I need for you to help me make sense of it all. Many nights or many mornings, that was my prayer. God, I don't understand what is going on. I don't understand why I feel like this. I don't understand why I'm being treated like this. But God, I trust you that you're getting ready to do a big and a new thing in me. And so I'm going to walk this thing out. I'm going to endure. I'm going to be able to handle that which you have placed right in front of me. I'm not going to run from what is before me. I'm not going to be scared. I'm not going to chicken out. I'm not going to say, you know what, it was better when I left things the way that it was, because my desire in everything that I do is to grow. My desire in everything that I do is to be able to be closer to you. My desire is to work and to do what I'm supposed to do. And when you understand the call or the move that God has on your life, there are some times where you have to be okay with being uncomfortable. You have to be okay with not being the popular one. You have to be okay with losing friends, and you have to be okay with family coming against you. You have to be okay with no one really wanting to have conversations with you, because what's coming out of your mouth is not really what they want to hear. You have to be okay with having the hard conversations that says, yes, you may be going through this time like this, but guess what? We cannot cannot think this way. We cannot stay this way. Get yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep on going. You have to be okay with the one that says, guess what? You were wrong in that situation, and I can't stand with you, and I can't be here when you're going to be doing wrong and knowingly doing wrong. You have to be okay with, guess what, allowing God to be the one that speaks louder than you. You have to be okay with not having the last word. You have to be okay with those mistreating you and despitefully using you and talking about you and tarnishing your name. You have to be okay, because all of these things that you're going through are the things that I had to deal with. And if I had to deal with them and I made it through and I made it and I am who I am, you can do it, because I'm going to be with you. I'm not going to let it get that bad to where you're going to want to quit, to where you're going to want to die, to where you are going to want to lose. I'm going to be with you, and I'm going to push you through. I'm going to give you the words that you need. I'm going to give you the desires of your heart. I'm going to give you the song in your heart. I'm going to give you the word to continue to speak into every atmosphere so that you win. Dear God, it's me. That's what this season is about, that we get to tear apart all these many conversations that we have had with God in our not dark place, in our alone time with Him. Because when I'm alone with Him, there is no darkness. When I'm alone with Him, there is a peace that surpasses all understanding. When I'm alone with Him, when I'm quiet with Him, He does His best work. And the first person that sees the change is you. When your response becomes different, when you have an appetite change, when you don't desire to do the things that you were doing anymore. Dear God, it's me, and I see you. I see you doing your work in me, and I can be excited for that. I can be happy. I can be glad, because I know that your work is going to be for those that don't know you, those that don't understand how amazing you are, or what you're doing in this season. Let them see your work through me. Dear God, it's me, this chick, April Chantel. This is your daughter, the mother, the wife, the woman that has tried everything on her own, and everything has failed until she finally made up in her mind to give it to you and try you fully, with no holds, no regrets, with no limitations, taking all the reins off and allowing you to do this thing. And with this thing has come a great boldness, has been a great peace, that, everything's going to be okay. I might not do or say the things that you want me to say, because I'm no longer that woman. I might not be, and allow you to treat me any way that you want, is because I'm not that person anymore. I can create spaces, and I can create boundaries that are safe for me, that will not cause me to sin against God. That is very important. And dear God, it's me, because He will give us the keys and the tools that we need to create those spaces and make sure that we continue to give ourselves what we need. He will open doors for us to where we need to be, and He will shut the doors that are hindering us from getting to where we need to be. But on today, the testimony is just, I'm just so forever grateful again at what God is doing. I'm so grateful for life. I'm grateful for health, and I'm grateful for strength. I'm thankful that I'm in my right mind. I'm thankful that, guess what, 5 years ago maybe would I have thought I would be in this place where God has definitely turned my life around and is definitely doing a new thing in me. Would I think I would have been here? No, because I do believe that at 5 years prior, I was a people pleaser. So I did what everybody wanted, or I did what everybody needed me to do. But now I'm doing what makes me happy and what makes him pleased and what makes him happy. I'm doing the work that, guess what, I thought that I was not capable of or qualified for. I'm doing the work that, guess what, I thought you had to have, all of this experience, when life has definitely just been the teacher that we need to see him work in our lives and to continue to study his word and then begin to apply. It has been just simply amazing, and I'm just forever grateful for just where God has brought me from, where he's bringing me to, every moment that I'm able to speak and encourage and empower. And I'm still the same. I love to have fun. I love to laugh. I love to love on those that can be authentically them to me. I love to love, and I know that's something that I'm never gonna not need. I love relationships, and so I thank God for those. I thank God for my amazing family. I thank God for my children. I thank God for just my loved ones. I thank God for, I'm just so thankful for everything, because nothing is promised anymore. Do y'all know all the stuff that's going on right now? Like, nothing is promised. We go to bed one night and then we wake up the next day and things are completely different. So I'm thankful for everything that I have. I'm thankful for the things I don't even have yet, or the things that are and the goals that I'm working towards. I'm thankful for those. And my testimony is that God has just really been faithful, and he's been good. When you subject yourself to him, he will really show you that he will be there in every situation. And I'm grateful. I can't thank God enough for the things that he's done, and that will forever be my testimony. I thank God for this podcast, that I know God is going to move and he's going to minister, and he's going to be able to take it where it needs to go. For all those ears that need to hear, guess what? They will hear. And I thank him that he's going to do it. I'm just going to do what he's asked me to do, and he's going to do it. In this podcast, of course, there will be moments where it's just the podcast. There are some lives that will, of course, take place. And I was really bummed, because every time I would plan to have lives like in the previous seasons, there was always something going on to where it would not happen. And in the time where there was a break, that was one of my questions. Dear God, it's me. I'm asking you, how come this can never always come all the way to it happening? Why is it always something that's causing this not to happen? And God was just simply telling me, it was either the wrong person, or it was not time for you to set that in motion just yet. But because of how he's grown me up in this season of my life, he's definitely allowed me to be ready for those moments. And I don't want to make them all the moments. I definitely want them to just be sporadic moments that whether you are sisters in the Lord ministry, whether you are friends, we can have those conversations, and they can be either live. We can pull in all those that we know that wouldn't mind listening, laughing, joking, talking, crying, just sharing that space. God said it is time, and it's not going to be for fake, but it is for real, because this is for real. Chatting with Chantel has always been for real, which is how my April got put back into the name, because God simply, in my Dear God, It's Me, he let me know that I never asked you to drop your first name. He was like, because that will forever be who you are. You are April. That is who you were birthed That is the name you were given at the day of your birth, and that is who you will be. Allow people to know that your name is April Chantel, and allow them to see me do the work in April Chantel. Don't hide the April, because I need them to see and know where you have come from. That is part of your testimony. So you can't just drop it thinking that, oh, I need to find something catchy. I need to find something that people will remember. People will remember you when you give them a story with an outcome that they were not expecting. So who you thought I was is not who I am today. So I need to you got to put April back into the picture. So that's how April Chantel came back in. So it is still the same podcast, Chatting with Chantel, but it is Chatting with April Chantel, so that you know that it is still this chick from South Carolina, Sumter, South Carolina, and she is just allowing God to continue to do this amazing work in her. And no longer is she scared. No longer is she silent. No longer is she afraid to be, say, and do the things that God has called her to do. And so that is so very amazing. A part of my testimony. And so I'm definitely glad for that. And I'm just thankful for, ministry, of course. I'm thankful for some new changes that have happened in my life. Doors that have closed, new ones that have opened, but friendships and sisterhood and bonds that will last forever. I thank God that one of my asks for him in Dear God, It's Me. And y'all know I'm going to shamelessly plug this the entire time. But in one of my asks, I said, God, I want to be able to know when people are not for me, or when people are being fake, or when people are not really, being honest with me. I want to know. And guess what? I don't want to, put them on blast or put them on Front Street. I just want to be able to move in a place that my response says, even though I know this, I'm still going to show you love in the end. And we have to be careful of our ask. I will say that. We definitely have to be careful in our ask, because then when God once he knew that he could trust me and handle me with that, he started showing me so much. And I was hearing so much and seeing so much. And it was never a thing that, I asked you to respond to anything. He was just like, this is what you asked me. Now I'm going to show it to you. How would you respond? What would you do? What do you think how do you think I got to where I was when I knew this was going on before me? Can you handle this? And so as those things began to happen in my life, and my response, it hurt. I shed some tears. I felt beat up. I felt hit. I was just like, now God, I don't even know why. I don't understand. But he was just like, listen, I heard your ask, and I know your desire, and I know your heart, and I got you. And so he began to show me those things. And when it was time to, shut those chapters and close out those, when it was time to close out those conversations, guess what? It was okay. It was no hard feelings. It was no, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm depressed, or anything. I was just like, at the end, I could say, God, I thank you for allowing me that experience. Like, I learned, I grew, I gained, I lost, and it caused me to be better in that experience. So I have no regrets. I would not change anything. So that's been part of, some of the journey that I've been dealing with. Dear God, It's Me has definitely been a time where I have spent more time talking to God and less time talking to people. And that's really hard when, people always want to know what's going on. And that was another big lesson that I had to learn. God was like, I need you to know when to be silent. I need you to stop telling so much. Because the moment you say stuff, their response and their reaction becomes different. And then you don't understand why they're doing what they're doing. And people sometimes will say they are all for your betterment, or, oh, I am team, empower a sister, until you share your ask or your dreams or your experiences that you've had with God, those conversations that you've had, and his response back to you. The minute you start sharing them, then the response becomes different, and you will see just between, I don't know if it's like manipulation or competition, or you will see them just react so differently. And God had to tell me, be quiet. I gave that thing to you, not to them. So people aren't going to understand why this is what you desire, or why this is what I'm doing, and they're not going to understand it. And so I did have to learn how to just have those conversations with him, and that's how I got the title of this new season. So no, everything will not be shared in this season that I have written Dear God, It's Me to, but what I have been allowed to share, the conversations that I've been allowed to have, to get your brains to turn, and to get your heart to, pulsating or wanting to do and love and share and forgive and grow and stretch. That is what we will be sharing. I'm so excited, and I'm so very happy as to where we are going. And just my word for today is that in your testimony, in your ask, as you are either journaling, or if you are, writing, or if you are just taking notes, in your Dear God, It's Me, one of the things that you have to be able to tell God is that, Dear God, It's Me. I'm not going to be afraid of change. Because with every ask, it's going to come change. Whether it's a change of thought, change of heart, change of scenery, whether it's change of, the way you learn, the way you do some things, there's going to have to come change. Don't be afraid of the change. Change is not always going to be easy. Change is not always going to feel good, but it will be for your good. Change gives us the necessary hands-on experience that we need to apply to the things that we're asking God for. Even in our day-to-day life, it has to first, your needs, your wants, and your desires have to first be a mindset change before you can actually put them into play. Like, your mindset has to be that of, guess what? I'm going to, make sure I take care of myself better, or I'm going to cater to myself better. I'm going to be a better mother, a better daughter, a better wife, a better woman. I'm going to be a better co-worker. I'm going to be a better boss. It has to first be a mindset change, and then you will be able to do the necessary changes that you have going on. You will do the necessary changes that you need to have for every experience. So I won't be afraid of change. I'm going to embrace change. I'm going to learn change. I'm going to walk through the ins and outs of change. I'm going to be able to hold on to the vision. I'm going to work the vision. And when you're working the vision, it creates the change. So in our ask, dear God, it's me. I am not going to run or be afraid of change, but I'm going to embrace change. Even if listening to this podcast is change, because you're not necessarily always willing to, try new things. Some of us like listening to music. Some of us like reading books. Some of us like writing. So this may be change. I'm not going to be afraid of it. I'm not going to make excuses for it. I'm not going to give reasons as to why I can't change, but I'm going to give space for change. So everything that's not lining up with what I am desiring, with what I am asking, I am going to move. I am going to give less time to, because the change that I'm asking for is for a better me. It's for a healthier me. It's for a happier me. I'm not going to be afraid of change. God is doing a new thing. And when you allow God to come in and do a new thing in you, change is going to happen. And you will know when it happens, and it feels great. It in the end, it feels great. It might feel awkward in the beginning, and it might feel a little displaced. But guess what? Once you become confident in knowing that God has not failed me, He has not left me, He's not going to leave me out to dry, and that He heard what I asked Him when I said, "Dear God, it's me. This is what I desire." And the change begins to happen. You're going to embrace the change and walk in the change. And you're going to be able to hold on to the change until the next change comes. Change is constant. So it's never not going to stop changing. So just be open to the new. Be open to the next. Be open to the growth. Be open to the challenge of change. And I know that you will be able to kill it. I know that you will be able to conquer it. You will be victorious. You will be amazing. You will be sharper. You'll be happier. You'll be peaceful. You'll be more joyful, because you allow God to come in and do the change. That is my part of my testimony, that change happened, and it came when I least expected it, but it was just what I needed to get me in this place. Dear God, it's me. And I thank you for this day. I thank you for this time. I thank you for what we have shared. I thank you for how you've given us life. I thank you for our family and our friends. I thank you for what you're going to do even in this season. And God, I ask that those that are hearing this very episode, God, that you begin to change them. Start with their mind, their heart, their soul, and all those things that are around them that need to be added. God, you create the change that we need. God, I'm praying for the world that you change it. God, I'm praying for every lost soul that you change it. God, I'm praying for our children that you change. So many derogatory things that are being said. God, you change it. God, we change. God, everything that speaks contrary to your word. God, we change everything that says that we are not overcomers by your word. God, we change everything that may hinder us from hearing from you. God, we change, God, our ways so that we stay in right alignment with you. God, we change those things today. And God, we thank you now. God, we give you praise. God, we give you glory. This is our ask. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for allowing me this space, this time to just come in and have a moment to share and a moment to impart. If you are listening and if you have heard, leave a comment, share, make sure that you heart it, do whatever you can to just show the support. Again, this is your girl, April Chantel, with Chatting with April Chantel podcast, and we're going to continue to share and build our group so that we are a strong group of wonderful people. Know that God is real, know that God is amazing, and know that God loves you. Y'all have an amazing weekend. Bye.